Yo, fellas, if y'all want to see me wife a girl that looks like this, or even this, tap in with my Instagram, man. My goal is 10K followers. If y'all active, I will follow back. Come on, y'all. I know we could do it, but hey, here go the vid.
And delivery, my boy CC, I see you right there, big boy. Here's the deal, y'all. I don't really engage in hyperbole nearly as much as I engage in fact. This brother is something special.
Yes,
he is something special. He brings out the dog in the rest of their team. Let me tell you something right now. He is rapidly evolving into my favorite player in the NBA. He's got an NBA body. He's a man-child. He's a Skywalker. He's got game. He's got heart. Listen to what I'm saying to you on national television. I see in the making Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant, MJ, Michael Jordan. You hear what I'm saying to y'all? He is special. He ain't there yet in terms of the names I mentioned, but he's coming, and he is box office worthy of walking through the turnstiles to see that brother play. He is a showstopper. Yes, yes, yes.
He's aggressive. You know, as a young guy in this league, some guys can tend to be like, nervous or whatnot. He has no nervous at all. He's aggressive. He's on full attack mode. And then, mistakes are going to happen. Obviously, he's young, but I love his aggressiveness.
I mean, he's just a different player. He's special. I think he's very talented. His athleticism is above everything. He jumps out of the gym, but he's very talented, and he's going to be a great player.
He's just controlling the games. Always been an efficient player who can run the point guard spot. He's developed into a major scorer as well. He just plays with great pace out there, plays with joy and enthusiasm, and you see him blossoming in front of our eyes. Since college, he's been on this trajectory, As a basketball fan, you can't wait to see what his years going forward.
Who would have thought? My rookie season was already in the books. It's crazy because it feels like just yesterday, I was telling y'all about my first G League game. And now, we getting ready for the playoffs. I never thought I would mean so much to this city, but it seemed like every time I walked up to the table to check in, the crowd started going crazy. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this season was full of plenty of ups and downs. I went through ups and downs in high school and even at Stanford, but it was a whole different beast, man. I feel like I've seen all there is to see. I done went against guys who was just as hungry as me, around the same age or even a few years older. And I also then went up against some of the GOATs, one of them being LeBron James. And even though some of these guys were my idols, I was ready to go mano a mano with them to show them I had no fear and I was coming for that top spot no matter who was standing in my way. I understand now that it's cool to make it to the NBA and get drafted, but man, you gotta work on your game so you can stay there. And I done came a long way. I wasn't giving this opportunity up for nothing. As a rookie, I knew some of the older players was gonna try to test me, but I always showed them I wasn't going for none of that. Stood my ground every time. And even though I may have gained a few new rivals, most of the players always showed me respect. We all here to compete and win, but at the end of the day, the NBA is a brotherhood. Can't forget that. I couldn't believe how much we had came together as a team since we last spoke. Adding that boy Cam Reddish to the team, it was a game changer, man. That dude was a sniper, and he also played defense. Now, he may have not been the number one scoring option, but on some nights he can definitely give you 30 if you want it. And every time we called his number, he definitely answered the call. But like I told y'all before, Cam was my dog, man. I messed with everybody on the team, but if I ever needed something, I'd go to Cam first. My boy DeMar was starting to look like the DeMar that was on the Raptors. People talk about his game, but seeing it in practice every day and in the game with him every day, man, this dude was different, bro. I could see why he was averaging 25 plus. And I ain't even got to tell y'all about Zach. He was easily playing like one of the best SGs in the league. I know y'all may know this already, but I had to talk about Jordan releasing my signature shoe, the CC1s. Hey man, it's still crazy seeing other players wear my own shoe. And I can't forget to tell y'all about how I made it to the All-Star game. Man, I was leading the East backcourt in votes. And not only did I make it to the game, I was a starter in it as well. Man, NBA All-Star Weekend was crazy. Now I know not everybody get to experience this in their career, so best believe I was enjoying it to the fullest. Now your boy was a rookie, so you know I competed in that Rising Stars game. And it was basically a key matchup between me and Wemby. I was getting my buckets, but I ain't gonna lie, he was doing his thing too. But man, everybody was telling me to have fun with it. So when I went in there, I put on a show. I was throwing it off the glass and all that. But y'all can't believe that was all that I did. Man, I had this crazy dunk that might be the best in Rising Stars game history. Threw it behind my back and then slammed it. I know y'all may be thinking what tempted me to try that. I couldn't even tell you. All I know is it had the whole building going crazy. I know most people don't tune in to the Rising Stars game, but hey, we was all some talented young rooks, and I was enjoying the experience. Now when the All-Star game came around, I debuted in my Iron Man CC1s. It was a part of my superhero colorway collection. Let me know how y'all feel about those in the comments. Before the game, I was talking with a lot of the vets, and some of them didn't even really care about the All-Star MVP too much. Hey! But I didn't care what they was talking about. I was going for that thing off rip. And at the beginning of the game, I had 2 dunks to make my presence felt already. A lot of people got their criticism about the All-Star game, saying sometimes it ain't competitive. But I don't care what they talking about, man. It was buckets everywhere on the court. And they was playing defense too. And this game was filled with a bunch of dudes who've been competing at a high level for years. And it's crazy because I was able to play at the same level they was playing at. I was just glad Giannis picked me up for his team. I got to hoop with him, Trae Young, Jamal Murray, KD, De'Aaron Fox, and a bunch of others. Everybody was acting up this game. That boy Luka even got a poster. I ain't even know bruh could get up like that. And me, I was attacking, getting my MJ on, hitting fadeaway jump shots. Now you saw the crazy dunk I did in the Rising Stars game, but this game I went even crazier. Hey! No sir, that ain't the only one. Hey! And one more for good measure. Hey! There was also a crazy play where I crossed up LeBron and then I hit the 3 right in his grill. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, by the time we hit the second quarter, I felt like I had the All-Star MVP on lock. I mean, I was out there doing stuff I didn't even know I could do. Trying dunks I ain't never tried before in life. I had to take my boy Luka to a roll bounce audition because he was definitely on skates. And right after that, I drilled the mid-range jumper. I think me staring at him before I shot it made it 100 times worse. I mentioned how I was playing with some dudes I'm normally competing against. So we tried to have fun with it, man. I was throwing lobs to Giannis and doing all kind of crazy stuff. And my brother from St. Louis, Tatum, he was going crazy too. He was on the opposing side, but I was definitely hyped for him. I was even cool with sitting on the bench for a while. I was just watching the show. Man, them boys was out there going crazy, throwing lobs, and De'Aaron Fox even dunked on LeBron. At one point, I remember De'Aaron Fox and Luka was going back and forth. Luka had came down, crossed him up, and got a tough lay. And De'Aaron Fox immediately asked for the ball, and he went down the court, and you know that man got his bucket right back, got a dunk. In the fourth quarter, we didn't even have a time limit. It was just the first to 118, and tied up at 116, I had Darius Garland on me, and I was looking for the game-winning bucket. And I don't know why, but he fouled me. I guess he ain't been keeping up with my life documentary, so I gotta remind him. When I'm at the line, it's 100% every single time. I don't know why he don't be watching. You see the views it's getting right now? With the game-winning free throw on the line, it was so loud in there I couldn't even hear. But all I had to do was step up, knock it down, and I was gonna get that boy Giannis another dub as a captain. And when it came down to it, I definitely delivered. Ball game. I was happy we won, but I low-key didn't want the game to be over, man. It was a crazy experience. I was having hella fun. And all those crazy dunks ended up paying off as your boy took home the All-Star MVP. And after All-Star break, finishing out the season, I ended up securing that Rookie of the Year. And even though I wanted to celebrate a successful season, it was playoff time.
Yeah, there we go. I like this. Still worried about straight. And I gon' shoot you up. I was born broke, but I'm down rich. That's on my brother. I know plenty English. Every gun I told, I bet it stutter. Leave your face right in your lap. I find out that you undercover. Bitches lie right in your face like she for you, then fuck another. Taught these niggas how to flex and get up on they shit. Invest up in they self up in this rap.
The playoff atmosphere in Chicago was like no other. It was super loud in that building. And as soon as the referee threw the ball up, I was locked in and ready to go. I knew in the playoffs that every possession mattered, but I was still going to attack. Hey! Winning the Rookie of the Year was cool, but if we had a chance to win the chip, I was definitely going to go for it. And at the start of the game, I had 2 dunks, and I was looking to set the tone early. Playoff time is where the superstars step up, and my boy DeMar DeRozan was looking to do just that. He had been doing it all season. As the second seed in the East, a lot of fans expected us to win this series pretty easy, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The Knicks was a good team. They had Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, and them boys also played some good defense. And their defense was part of the reason why I started to struggle. As the quarter went on, I was starting to make some rookie mistakes, no pun intended. And where would I find myself? Right on the bench. I had to quickly realize that this wasn't the time to be making rookie mistakes, but it just seemed like everything was not going my way after that. I was getting scored on with ease, which don't usually happen, and I wasn't able to convert some of my shots. On top of that, I was really starting to overthink things. I had a wide open dunk and I pulled up for a mid-range, but luckily I got the board and the easy 2 points. And with 14 seconds left to go, I decided to take a break, go to the gas station, and give me some lays. I knew I had to lock in for the second half. I ended up checking my phone, and this voicemail changed everything.
Hey babe, I know it's halftime and you probably won't get this message, but I need you to lock the f*** in. They cannot guard you at all, and you know this. Didn't you hear what Drewski said? You need to go stand on business. Try not to get too tired though. You're gonna need some energy for me when you get home. Love you, see you later.
Now I don't know if y'all boys heard of the Jordan Poole effect, but for this case, we gonna call it the Corey Cash effect. Cause after I got that voicemail, I started going ballistic. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, the Knicks didn't stand a chance. I had cheeks on the line, bruh. Couldn't no man stop me. I don't care if I gotta go up against Thanos or Goku. If I got cheeks on the line, bruh, they getting dealt with. If you see me fighting with a grizzly bear, you better go and help that bear, boy. But on a serious note, I ain't talking about an escape room when I tell y'all I was locked in. To be honest, I looked like a completely different player from the first half. I was just making the right play, and that included getting an one bucket. And y'all already know it's 100% from the line, so I ain't even gotta tell y'all. And as the third quarter went on, I started letting it fly. Boom! The momentum had finally shifted and everything was going our way again, including this crazy lob that Zach threw me. I ain't even catch it, but somehow it still went in. Things also started to go our way on the defensive end. We was getting steals and I was baiting them in the charges. And just by looking at the body language, I could tell the Knicks players was getting super frustrated. I don't know what y'all favorite score streak on COD is, but mine is the chopper gunner. Boom! And with an 18-point lead in the fourth, it was not looking good for the Knicks. I don't listen to Kodak that much, but I'm definitely Sniper Gang. And just like that, we ended up taking game 1 at home. Everybody was lit, but in the back of my mind, I had to remember, the job ain't finished. Despite the rough showing in the beginning, I ended up dropping 36 and almost had a triple-double. And now it was time for game 2, but it did not go as I expected. Now Jalen Brunson definitely let it be known that he took last game personal. He came out in the beginning guns blazing. But see me, I never back down from a challenge, and y'all know that. So after that I drove straight to the cup, and I ended up getting a crazy poster. I knew the defense was gonna key in on my slashing, so to open things up, I started to get my tray ball going early. And as the quarter went on, it wasn't hard to see that this was turning into a one-on-one battle between me and Brunson. He would get a bucket, and then the next thing you know, I was at the other end getting the bucket. And to be honest, I wasn't even tripping. I mean, this is what playoff basketball was all about. But midway through the first, man, we was down. So I was trying to do everything in my power to make sure we got that lead. I know it started off as a 1v1 game, but forget all that. I was trying to get my teammates involved. And I told y'all, that man Cam, he show up right when you need him. And Zach, he was doing the same thing. Now the game was close and it was super physical. I had to work for everything I was getting, including this tough lay. I don't even know how I hit it, but for some reason the Knicks will not go away, man. But I was playing my game, pushing in transition. You already know what I do. And I was also finding Zach. He was cooking as well, I'm not gonna lie. I told y'all, man, the way this dude been playing all season, y'all gotta consider my boy for the best SG in the league. And if not that, he at least top 2. But one thing about the playoffs, when you play a team in the series, man, they start to figure out your tendencies. So I had to start getting some of my dirty work done in the post. And even though they slowed down my slashing in the half court, you already know I'm a nightmare in transition. And I ended up getting this tough and 1 bucket. But still, that didn't matter. Man, this dude Brunson was hooping the whole game. And as the fourth quarter went on, them dudes was holding on to that lead for dear life. And Brunson was making some tough shots. And for most of those shots, I was playing good defense. But hey man, sometimes it's just good D, but better O. I learned that can happen a lot in this league. And you gotta respect it, no matter how frustrating it is. And sadly, that was that. Them boys ended up getting the dub at our crib. And now we had to go into game 3 and try to do what they just did. Now I had 53 and 14. And even though it's a crazy stat line, I wanted the dub. All I was focused on is getting my get back. I ain't care if it was Jay-Z, Spike Lee, or even Ice Spice in the crowd. All I knew is, New York, they was finna be disappointed tonight. And just like last game, me and Brunson was going back and forth early. Only difference is this time, I was way more motivated. I don't know about y'all, man, but they beat us at the crib. And me personally, I ain't going out like that. Starting off hot will be an understatement. Man, at the beginning of this game, I could not miss. I was getting and one lays, lobs, dunks, really everything I wanted. And you could see that the Knicks players was getting frustrated early. And of course I was doing my thing on the defensive end. But like I said, Brunson was letting it be known that he wasn't going nowhere either. I had to run through like 8 screens just to get to this dude. I know they had home court advantage and Madison Square Garden was rocking, but I ain't gonna lie, I was a force to be reckoned with as I got a crazy poster dunk midway through the second. And at this point, I still wasn't missing a shot. It seemed like everything I threw up was just going in, and the bucket was feeling like an ocean. I was getting straight to the cup and punching it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I was starting to look like Stanford Corey Cash this game. I was hitting those step back middies I used to hit when I was back on campus. And even though I was going crazy, we was still losing. And with a chance to tie it up, I called for the screen, got a step back, and I drilled it. I already hit a few of them things, so you know the UAV was equipped. Now, it's the chopper gunner time. It got to a point where I ain't even know what moves to do anymore. I kid you not, I was literally just throwing stuff up and it was going in. At halftime, I had 36 points and the storm continued. But it would be midway through the fourth when tragedy set in. I was playing defense on Brunson, and then next thing I know, I turned around and he was on the floor in pain. We later found out that it was an ankle injury, but I ain't gonna lie, in the moment, it looked bad. I mean, this dude couldn't even stand up. Me and Vooch even came over to see if bro was good. As a Knicks fan, I know it was heartbreaking. I mean, he was out there hooping, giving it everything he got. And just like that, his season was over with. I know I was the one playing defense on him, but it definitely wasn't intentional. But hey man, things got chippy after that. I went up for a layup on the next play, and they basically knocked me out the air on some Jordan rule type stuff. And on top of that, bro tried to bump me afterwards. I knew emotions was high, but I had to push him and let him know, hey bruh, this ain't gonna be that. And instead of getting into a scuffle with bro, I just called ISO on him on the next play, and he got embarrassed. And just like that, we stood on business, and we got the dub by about 20. And I ain't gonna lie, I felt bad for Brunson. He dropped 41 before he went down. And as for me, I ended up putting up 52 points. But hey, all that dirty stuff going on at the end of the game, man, it was just added motivation. And I can honestly say, them boys poked the bear. Like I said before, everything that happened last game was just added motivation. I was about to go crazy. And at the start of the game, I had 2 back-to-back crazy dunks. And even though Brunson wasn't in the lineup, the Knicks were still fighting hard. But all in all, it just wasn't going to be enough, especially when we was playing at the level we was playing at. And as the game went on, we easily saw that these boys couldn't do nothing with us. I mean, they had no answer for nothing we was doing. I was getting to the cup with ease. It seemed like every time I would dribble down the court, I noticed that the lane was wide open. And I already told y'all, I took that last game disrespect very personal. So coming into this game, you know I was going to let it fly. And then next thing you know, it was tray ball after tray ball after tray ball. And the backup PG for Brunson couldn't stop it. It got so bad that they coach had to call timeout a few times. And bro had to blame his teammate for taking him to a bad dinner. Because every time he was guarding me, it wasn't nothing but stir fry. And before I knew it, man, these boys was getting cooked by almost 30. It wasn't even no point of playing the game anymore. Everybody on the team was getting buckets. And 1 buckets at that. And midway through the third, I asked coach if he could sit me out. I already knew the job was finished. Y'all should know I'm a man of my word. I wasn't playing no games with these boys. And just like that, we was 1 game away from closing this thing out. Now game 5, they made it a lot more competitive, I ain't gonna lie. At one point, it was 100 to 101. I was dribbling down the court, and I seen my man Cam in the corner, and he do what he do best. With around 2 minutes left to go in the fourth, them boys was playing like they life depended on it. They really needed this game, and they wanted it too, I ain't gonna lie. All in all, it wasn't enough. I felt like the villain this game. And the way I was doing that backup PG, I probably wasn't going to be allowed in New York for at least a year. And I'm pretty sure Ice Spice and Spike Lee done blocked me on the gram already. But I wasn't tripping, as I got a bucket with 1.2 left to go. And man, we knew it. That was it. We sent them boys to the crib, and we was moving on to round 2 of the playoffs. And I'ma keep it real, I was lit. But rest in peace to Kobe, man. Job not finished.